Hi everyone.
Hi everybody.
In today's video, I'm going to explain to you and show you how to start taking care of your nails, because sometimes the task seems quite daunting and it doesn't have to be. So basically what I recommend doing is having a step-by-step approach. So first thing is I'm going to shorten the nails and start to shape the nails, and then we're going to explain how to take care of the skin around the nails. So normally I don't use clippers, but probably you don't have an electric file, so it's a good idea to, if the nails are super long, to just clip them. But then when you are maintaining your nails weekly, then there is no need for clipping. So I'm not going to clip too far because I'm always very careful that I don't snip the hyponychium underneath, so the skin underneath the nail, because that would be very, very painful. By the way, these little clippers are from the Tweezerman kit that I highly recommend getting. It's an excellent kit and excellent value. So I think last time we did the manicure, I don't even know how many months ago.
When was it? Been a long time since I've had a manicure.
So we really kind of tried to let these nails go, which wasn't difficult. But honestly, weekly manicures is such an important thing, because first of all, you're learning to have good habits and you are learning how to do these manicures. Okay, this one doesn't have to be clipped.
Oh, absolutely not.
I really don't like clipping nails because then
they fly all over the place.
Yeah, they fly all over the place. And it's worse when they end up in your mouth or something.
Or in your eye.
Yeah, that would be worse.
I've actually had that happen once with a toenail.
So I'm going to use very simple tools. I'm going to use this wood board file, and I'm going to use a manicure stick. So nothing fancy. I'm going to use, this is 240 grit. The other side is 120. So you can use it to shorten the nails if you want to. And what I'm going to do now is just to follow the shape of the nail bed. So of the pink part, approximately. This is the most natural shape and it's the strongest shape. Especially if your nails are damaged, this is something I would definitely recommend. So what I would recommend is to go underneath, even it out, so taper it in a little bit, especially if your nails fan out. Not going in too deep here, not filing too much, but getting underneath and just beveling a little bit. And this is the reason why I like thin files, because they can get underneath the edges with them. So if your nails are damaged, or they're peeling or something, which is actually a sign of damage, what I would do is I would keep them short until the nails are healthy, because there's no point of growing damaged nails, because they'll get even more damaged. So you see how I'm following the shape? Now I'm comparing this side, this nail to this, getting underneath, bevel a little bit. So the first manicure, I'm going to show you how to do this, or first manicure, I guess. And then maybe we'll do a next video where he does his own manicure and files his nails next week.
What?
How about that?
What?
Okay, now I'm going to compare. Looks good. Underneath. Bevel. Underneath. Bevel. By the way, there was absolutely nothing wrong with filing back and forth, and I have to make a video about it. But basically, the fibers of the nails, people think that the fibers of the nails, they grow this way, I guess because of the sometimes ridges that people have, but they don't. So it really doesn't matter how you file. If you file once like this way, or you file back and forth, it doesn't matter. What matters is the grit. So the softer the grit, the smoother the finish. And I'm going to give you a tip for a very, very smooth finish in just a couple minutes when I'm finished this. So with the first manicure, the shaping takes a little bit longer, I guess, because the shape is really off. But then if you do that once a week, this is going to be very easy because you will have barely anything to do. So this is also why I don't recommend using clippers, because you won't need clippers if you're doing this on a regular basis. Underneath, bevel. Okay, I'm gonna look at the shape. Underneath, bevel. All right, so now the edges are pretty smooth, but they're not super, super smooth, okay? So some people would reach for files that are even finer than this, but I have a better idea. So basically what you wanna do is you wanna grab a buffer block. So I'm gonna use this one, but I often use the yellow ones as well. Something that has like 180 grit or 200 grit, and you can just go like this to smooth just the edge. And because the buffer has a bounce, the nail kind of gets in there, as you can see, like here, and you bevel it really nicely. So you're not gonna have any sharp edges. So I'm not filing on top of the nail, I'm just going against the edge of the nail, smoothing it. This also slightly takes care of the hardened skin around the nails. especially these little edges. How are you excited for this manicure?
Very, actually. Very excited. Those nails are a little too long for my
A
liking.
little bit, yes.
Just a little bit.
I didn't mention that, but obviously before you start doing a manicure, always wash your hands. It's a very good idea to give your hands a nice wash. Okay, so this is done. Next step. You know how sometimes you have hard edges here? Hard edges. We're not trying to take care of dry skin by filing it, okay? If you have dry skin and the skin is soft, just simply moisturize it. But if there are hard edges like this, you can just smooth them. And what you can do is just go like this, very, very slowly, and then feel for the skin. If it's smoother, then your job is done. Don't overdo it. Don't file it until the dryness is gone or anything like that, because this is not how you fix dry skin. I find this really, really prevents any hangnail. So this little step is absolute genius. So just pull the skin back, set the file. Sometimes people are afraid to do this step because they are afraid to overdo something. So I don't snip this area. I really don't. There is no need for snipping. This is way better. Anytime you cut the skin is going to, well, usually peel or become harder. I find this is way more gentle approach and way more effective. See these little pieces? I'm going to snip. These ones, I'm going to snip them. I'm not going to file them. And please, please, please pay attention to how gently I'm doing this. And these movements are very, very controlled. So I'm not going like this. I'm putting pressure on this edge. Okay. Feeling the skin, putting pressure here. So I think the next video we're going to have him repeat this. Yes. Please let us know in the comment section. Please, please, please. Yes, if we want to see the results of my super extensive, excellent training that I'm providing here. He's laughing. Okay. This is amazing, amazing step. Amazing, amazing. Very, very, very good step.
Very, very?
Yes, we had someone in the comment section asking why I always say very, very. Because very, very is much more effective than just very. Yeah. Okay, so now the nails are looking much better. The next question is, how do you deal with that skin? So people say, you know, the cuticle, but all this is not a cuticle, okay? This is skin around the nails. This is your skin fold, skin around the nails. Don't worry about the cuticle at all. First, we're going to worry about the shape of the nails and about the health of the skin around the nails. So now I'm going to just show you how to very gently nudge that skin. So take this stick this side. Don't shove it this way because now you're separating the skin fold from the nail. And that's not what you want to do. You want to just nudge it back. So I'm able to, as you can see, very gently nudge it. See? Just very, very gently. So if that skin, very, very gently. So if that skin is very hard and stuck, don't attempt this. What you want to do then is start with a skincare and start using Carousel every night for a week or two until you're able to gently nudge the skin. So I'm not trying to separate all this skin from the nail. I'm just trying to gently nudge it. So from now on, every night, he's going to be using the carousel. And in the next video, we'll see, he's giving me a smart face. We're going to see how much better the skin looks. See, this is what you want to do. You don't want to be separating anything. You don't want to be forcing anything. You are going to be just nudging that skin, not pushing, nudging. So it's not stuck to the nail, because the problem is once that skin is dry and it's stuck to the nail, as the nail is growing, the skin is stuck to the nail and it's going to pull the skin. And eventually, because the skin has no elasticity if you don't take care of it, it's going to snap, and that causes sometimes that very painful skin tears around the nails. Okay, let's see how the other hand is. So gently. So this is not, again, pushing cuticle, because the cuticle is actually dead skin cells on the nail plate. But we're not going to be worried about the cuticle. I just wanted to show you how to start nudging that skin. And over time, so a lot of people are asking what to do if that skin is very, very stretched. Very, very stretched. Oh my God, if that skin is very stretched, just nudge it a little bit. Don't try to separate it all. And over time, when you keep nudging the skin will shrink back. And if that skin is healthy, it will shrink back. But if it's very stretched, then again, you want to start with, or if it's really dry and hard, you want to start with the carousel once a night. And also what you want to start with is, preferably after each time you wash your hands, you want to just put a drop. I'm going to use this bottle, just one drop of oil. I'm going to show you how I do it. So I just take a drop of oil, because very often people over apply it. And this is all you need. And jojoba is probably the best. And then you can just add some avocado oil. You can, if your skin is dry, you can add sunflower oil. And that is going to really help for that skin to be much more elastic and much more healthy. And it's going to then bounce back much nicer. So now this also comes with that Tweezerman kit. So what you want to do is to hold it very closely so you have a good control. Let's see what I'm doing. And just, that's it. Can you see that little piece here? So I'm going to go like this. And I always try to snip as little as I can, because again, the more you snip, the skin is going to get harder. So the skin here is not inflamed or anything. I'm just trying to smooth it a little bit. And that's it. So this is what I recommend doing for the first 2 to 3 weeks until the skin around the nails is nice and healthy. And until you're able to nudge it back, until it actually sits nicely around the nails. Once the skin sits nicely around the nails and it's nice and healthy, then I recommend, if you want to, obviously, removing the cuticle. And cuticle, as you can see here, the cuticle is on the nail plate. So sometimes you could remove it just by like scraping it off a little bit, but sometimes the skin is really stuck on the nail. And it's difficult to do this without putting a lot of pressure. So I don't recommend usually trying to scrape off that cuticle when it's dry. Again, sometimes you can do it, but usually I don't recommend it. So another very important thing. So first I nudge back the skin fold, which then exposes the cuticle. So I don't push the cuticle back, because why would you want to push all those dead cells underneath the skin fold? That doesn't make much sense. So what I do is I first nudge the skin fold back. Once the skin fold is sitting nicely around the nail, then I worry about the cuticle, and then I remove the cuticle. I apply cuticle remover, and then I just remove it side to side without stuffing all those dead cells underneath the skin fold. But that I'm going to show you in a part 2 of this video series. And after the manicure, this is really the only time where I apply a little bit more oil. So just 1 drop per nail. Jojoba is a very light oil, and it's not going to leave your hands very greasy. Also, if you want to remove the excess oil, you can always do that and just wipe your nails, your hands in the towel, because all the oil that your skin needs, it already, I don't want to say absorbed, but pretty much. So again, if you don't want to be having greasy fingers, this is what you want to do. And now you're going to have beautiful skin around the nails. What I also recommend is after each hand wash, so putting that drop of oil, putting a little bit of cream on your hands after each hand wash. And I mean tiny, because I think people over apply and then their hands get greasy and then they just don't do it, or they do it once a day and they apply way too much. So you can do after each hand wash, just put 1 drop of oil, tiny bit of cream, and then you can actually wipe your hands.
Where's mine?
Okay, I'm gonna apply on his hands a little bit.
Yes.
So small amount. Because I think after manicures, when people see me do manicures, we use way too much, right? So in reality, you don't need this much cream. This is actually renewing foot cream, but it's all good. It's a little bit heavier than the CeraVe lotion. This one also has the salicylic acid, I believe. So it has water, glycerin, mineral oil, which is fantastic. It has niacinamide, which is very good, unless you're allergic to it, obviously. It has salicylic acid. Dimethicone, fantastic. This is very good cream. Ceramides, yes, this is very good. Well, CeraVe is known for the ceramides. So how easy was that?
Easy.
What do you guys think? Please let us know in the comment section. So this is step number 1. And the step number 2 is going to be very easy as well. Don't you worry. All right.
Amazing.
Amazing. Thank you so much, guys, for watching. Look how much better these hands look.
They feel better.
Wow. Do not leave these things without the cover. Okay, because if you damage the tip, you might as well just throw out the tool. By the way, the kit comes with a little tiny little baby file, but this is actually good because in case you have any.
I use it.
Yeah.
I think it's great.
And then it comes also with the little pusher, and I'll show you how to use it in the next video. It's an excellent little kit to have, and the clippers, right? So after you wash them, you dry them. It's a little bit beat up because I actually carry this in my purse. Too bad.
This goes everywhere.
Yeah, so it's just too bad that this could have been better, but it is what it is. But highly recommend it. Okay, guys, this is it for today's video, and I'll see you in the video number 2. How to do the step number 2, which is also very easy. Thank you so much for watching, guys. Bye.
Ciao.